Hi, I'm Claire from Chancellor Coaching. Today I want to explore the ninth major arcana card within the tarot, known as the Hermit. Now, the Hermit has that solemn energy. It's quite low, and even when I'm getting ready to record this, I'm feeling like my energy just sort of coming down a notch, coming a little bit withdrawn, a little bit more, a little bit more introverted and soul searching. And that's exactly what this card represents. When we think about the Fool on his journey, he's about halfway halfway on his journey, which can kind of represent that midlife crisis, taking yourself, retreating from everything that you've known to do a little bit of soul searching to understand who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. We can see from Hermit there that he is on the top of the mountain. He is alone, he is isolated. However, he is looking towards the past, he is shining his light, and he is doing that self reflection to understand where he has been, how he's gotten to the top, and he's probably reflecting a lot about what is to come. He's getting in touch with that inner wisdom and that inner truth, what worked, what didn't work, and he may also be sorting out some of that bitterness or that resentment of shoulda, coulda, woulda. This card could represent the need to call in a coach, a therapist, a counselor to help you unpack what is going on, because the energy is quite tired and you've probably been pushing too hard, working too hard, and not taking the time out to really enjoy everything that you've achieved. So this is that moment. This is that time to reflect on who you are. So in a relationship, you know, this isn't the best card for for a relationship. It does represent somebody who's feeling like either they're retreating or their partner's retreating out of the relationship, not having an affair, but just evaluating who they are and maybe a little bit bored of the day-to-day grind and the day-to-day routine, that they want so much more out of the relationship but not so sure how to get that. So again, that's that energy of evaluation and isolation, I guess you'd say. In a relation, sorry, in a this card comes up in reverse. Reverse again is saying that there's a level of broken identity here, that you caught up in your work too much, and this is a bit of a wake-up call to take that time out to reflect on who you are, to do that soul searching, because boy oh boy, you are just going ahead in life with just that full-on willpower. And the question is, what are you achieving by that? Like, what are the rewards from that? If it's just the day-to-day working, where is the being? And so if this card comes up in a health reading, again in reverse, it can represent things like feet issues, ankle problems, knee issues, even hip issues. All of that part of our body helps us move forward. And so if we're manifesting in ankle problems, knee problems, there's a resistance to step forward. Now, there may be a part of you like, no, I'm a workaholic. I know how to move forward. But really, on an unconscious level, there's a part of you who feels uncomfortable stepping out of what's familiar. And it's that needs having, that needs to be looked at and healed. Talking, literally talking to the pain, the swelling, the anger that's sitting there. And where is that fear? What is that powerlessness telling you? And if the powerlessness wasn't there, what would you be capable of achieving? It's probably time to start planning some really fun adrenaline kind of holidays. But again, something to get you out of your comfort zone. Your idea of adrenaline might be sitting on a beach and just not working, and like the the chaos that could go with that. Okay, so going back to health, this card can also represent constipation. Woohoo! Let's talk about that on film. So constipation is about not nurturing yourself, holding on to unresolved emotions, feeling vulnerable, carrying on way too much of the family burdens. If we think about somebody taking on the responsibility to be the provider, they may feel their value in providing by going to work, but their absence is felt in the family. And so that kind of tug of energy can be held in the bowels. Very fun. It can also represent gallbladder issues or spleen issues. Again, the gallbladder is that bitterness of past trauma, don't want to be pushed aside. The spleen is about, it can be a sense of feeling abandoned or alone, questioning what is love, where is my value in that, all childhood stuff. So let's bring the energy back up as much as we can with the Hermit. The team's starting to talk to me and they're saying, okay, so the light here that the Hermit is holding onto was previously the Fool's sack. If you think back to the very, very first card in the Major Arcana, the Fool, he represents us. He represents us on our journey. And we have a little knapsack that we carry with us, which just has the bare minimum to survive. Well, as the Fool has gone, he reached up to the 9th card in the Major Arcana, that the tools that we've acquired, the maturity, the knowing, the wisdom, has turned into our light, and it shines the way. So it's quite beautiful the way that the symbology carries through all of the Major Arcana cards. So again, it's that spiritual light that shines the way. I always go to the little shoes. So the Hermit is wearing little grey shoes, which again highlights how isolated he is feeling, the greyness, just wanting to not have so many people involved. If we go to, again, his grey cloak there, it's that wisdom, but the absence of light. So while he's holding on to the light, that internal sparkle isn't being shone, but that inner sparkle is being very hard to see. So the black that we see in the card is that in the shadows is the is the force, the formality, the stability, the zero tolerance within this card. So like this person's pretty tired, zero tolerance. While we are on top of the mountains in the tarot represent goals. We've reached our goal. There's a formality here. However, there is the snow that's sitting on top of it, keeping us isolated. We haven't invited everybody to come with us, and there's that self-reflection. I think you get the meaning of this card. It just sort of keeps coming up over and over. So overall with this card, with the spirit world, if you see this come up in a reading, the simple message here is to, yes, give yourself permission to have that internal reflection, gain the wisdom that you need, but it's probably time to get off that mountain and start to be amongst people and enjoy everything that life has to give you. I'm Claire from Claire Chancellor Coaching, and I will talk to you soon.